Boris Johnson, as you know, was one of the first leaders to congratulate Emmanuel Macron on his victory. He said that France is our closest and most important ally. And I look forward to continuing to work together on the issues which matter most to our countries and to the world. These issues, the first that comes to mind is, of course, the support to military support to Ukraine, as France and the UK are the two main military powers, the only two nuclear military powers in Europe. And of course, this was at the heart of the last British-French summit that took place over here in England. But that took place during Theresa May's premiership. There hasn't been a summit particularly to discuss these issues since, because of course these two leaders were busy discussing other things like Brexit, for example, which of course divides them and still divides them today. So there is no doubt that there are many things they will need to iron out in this new form of relationship that here diplomats and politicians are calling for. It's no doubt, they were not known as the best of friends, particularly since over here, Emmanuel Macron has been seen, particularly by the Brexit right, to take a very staunch stance on Brexit. But the withdrawal agreement still hasn't been implemented. So no doubt they will still need to talk about these issues. Now, for example, the right-wing pro-Brexit Daily Mail newspaper says that Johnson has so far stoically put up with Macron's tantrums, insult and his hard lines over the EU withdrawal agreement. The Prime Minister can surely no longer be under the illusion that Macron is his friend. So friend or foe, they will have to work together in any case.
And you just pointed out there that, the reality is that Macron has been, let's say, thinly disguised antipathy towards Boris Johnson. So with that in mind, how do you think the two men will be able to rebuild a relationship, given that ties between the UK and France are at their lowest point in many years in Macron's second term?
Well, no doubt, trust will have to be rebuilt. This is what the Daily Telegraph, the main supporter of Boris Johnson on the centre-right, has been pointed out. The newspaper points out that, of course, these two men have no choice but to work together. They are the main allies in terms of military powers in Europe. And of course, at this moment in time, things have changed and changed dramatically, as there is a war now in Europe. And this relationship, this rapprochement, is of crucial importance for Europe and for the world and for these two nations. So they will have to put aside their personal issues and whatever divides them over Brexit to come together. This is what a lot of people are asking for over here, and it seems that it will be in the interest of both countries. However, there is no doubt that they were not the best of friends. But another question to be asked is whether, now of course, Emmanuel Macron still has to face the parliamentary election in June in France, but on his side here, Boris Johnson, is not completely assured to remain as Prime Minister in 1 month. Over Partygate, there are many questions that were asked. There are two massive, very important reports, one from the police that is expected in the short term, and then the Sue Gray report over his management of time during the pandemic in Downing Street. So his premiership is not assured.